Welcome back, and welcome to everyone using this video today. This is using the 8th grade PSSA Sampler 2 packet. So this is the one with the number 2 at the top. And you're going to turn, it's a little bit towards the middle / end, and it's called Cool Roofs. Cool Roofs. But you can also read it in this presentation here. So we got a lot going for us today. All right, as we go along, you want to make sure that what happens on the screen is something that you do, right? So let's say Mr. Surface on the screen clicks read aloud version of the story. And boom, the story itself pops up, and Mr. Surface with his dulcet tones reads it to you. Okay? That's a good one to have on your address bar, or not your address bar, the address bar at the top of the screen now. Let's everybody proceed to slide 2. As you've noticed with CDTs, that your PSSA comes with a few similarities to those CDTs, right? It starts with this screen. You can confirm that that's you, all right? If you could please move the green cat next to that continue button on slide 2. Good work. Slide 3. Please put your name on this slide. And I'd also like you to put it in highlighter. So if you notice down here, you click highlight, and then you can go ahead and sign your name here. My first name is Mr. And my last name is Surface. Oh, look at that beautiful cursive. Nice job, Mr. Surface. Please take a moment to sign your name as well. And just for a little bit of practice, whenever you hear a whistle, specifically the whistle of the song Moonglow by Benny Goodman, right? That's when you want to pause the video, whoever the teacher in the room is or the student observing this video, pause the video and make sure your slide looks like Mr. Surface's. Please take the time to make your slide have your name on it, signed in highlighter now. Excellent. Slide forward. So just like the PSSAs, you can't be, this is a free sample. Anybody can take a look at this one here. But during the PSSAs, you want to make sure that you're not photographing. You don't have a phone on you. That's why everyone's so crazy about phones, right? Because they put you in a $30,000 violation zone. You don't want that. All right. Go ahead and put that fish in the fish tank and go to slide 5. You can drag the sad button down to begin the test. Time to get in there. Sorry, sad button. Slide 6. While you're taking that PSSA test or CDT test, the main tool that you use is the cursor. Please drag your red triangle over to that cursor there. That helps you to navigate from page to page and also to use some of the other tools there. Here on slide 7, I'd like you to drag this hashtag over to this drop-down menu here by question 1. Why? Because this allows you to look at all the different paragraphs and questions that correspond with it. And it's just a way to kind of stay organized while you're working through a particular PSSA question. Slide 8. If you could drag this green compass over here to this X with an eyeball on it, right? Or it looks like an eyeball. And you'll notice that this helps you to cross out questions that you're sure are incorrect. It's always a good idea if you know something is obviously wrong to just get it out of the way. Just put a red X on it so that your brain doesn't even have to contend with it anymore. Just cross it out. You're sure it's wrong. Get it out of here. All right. Slide 9. See these highlighters here, right? We use our highlighters all the time for important words and phrases. It's good to do it for questions and text. If you could put your race car over there on the highlighter icon, that'll allow you to highlight things when you're taking this test. Slide 10. You can also make notes. If you drag this yellow box over to the Post-it icon right there at the top, and that icon allows you to take notes. So you could write, come back to this question later. I think it's B, but double check in the text, right? Sometimes you want to give your brain a break and make a note so you don't have to reread every little single thing every single time. Slide 11. The line reader. Now, when you see it in the test, it's sort of this dark blue line. You click this and then you sort of drag it down, and it makes like a line like this. Oh, not that thick. Whoops. Let's try it for a thinner line. Right? It'll be a line, more like this, and it'll stretch across the entire screen usually, or at least over until the question, right? And that allows you to read. It's kind of better for the full text, but it works for questions too. And then you can sort of move it around as you please. Ooh. Slide 12. Okay, so let's get into the article. This is what is called a word cloud. If you could please click on the text, and we're going to write word cloud up here, right? And a word cloud is the more something is repeated, the more the repeat, uh, the larger the word. Okay? So why is that even something to worry about? Well, I'll tell you. The word cloud, the bigger the word, the more often it's used. Okay? Should have made that. All right? So if you see a word like cool, let's highlight cool with blue, right? Shows you that the word cool will show up a lot in this article. Same with, and let's get all the big words now: heat, water, green, Jackman, roof, says, plants, roofs, city, cities, future, and I think that's good. All right. What I'd like you to do now is switch over to green and find some medium sized words, words like energy, York, associates, right? And I'd like you to find four total words, four additional words that are sort of medium sized, and to highlight those green. Please do so now. You're finding your own. Excellent. Whenever you hear whistles, that's always a good time to stop and follow through with the audio directions, or the directions on the page in this case. Now, if you could please switch to orange, and I'd like you to write four again. And this time we're going to find small words, four small words that give us a preview of what we're going to be reading about as well. Please take the time to highlight four small words in orange. Excellent. Slide 13. Here on slide 13, it's asking you to drag the red dots over two keywords from the prompt. This prompt is taken word for word from the sampler packet. So this is definitely the sort of prompt, pardon the squeak, the sort of prompt that you're going to see in this article, Cool Roofs. All right, let's take a moment and read it over. We'll move our red dots over here, and then we'll find two important words for this prompt. The author concludes the passage with a quotation from Joe Jenkins. The best choices will improve our lives in the cities we live in by respecting each other and the planet we so depend on. Write an essay analyzing how the information throughout the passage supports Jenkins' idea. Use evidence from the passage to support your response. Please take a moment now to move these two red dots to the two most important words in this prompt. Please do so now. Excellent. Let's get into it. Slide 14. There's that word cloud again. Now, as we read along, we're going to be annotating. One of the things that I've been doing while we go through some of these audio is I've been highlighting all of the adjectives as we go along. I would like you to do the same. So whenever you see an adjective, I'd like you to highlight it. And an adjective, and we can highlight it, or we can put a note here. An adjective is a descriptive word that describes a noun, right? So a noun, let's underline a noun. A noun would be roofs, right? A noun is a person, place, or thing, or an idea. Usually if you can kick it or you can think it, it's a noun. Now switch over to a blue highlighter, please. Notice we've got cool roofs. Well, cool is our adjective here, right? So we're going to highlight that blue. Boom. All right. Please take a moment to make sure your blue highlighter is on and that you're on slide 15. And we have a wonderful celebrity to read through this as well. Go ahead and give it a full listen. Going back, we're going to be reading, us 8th graders, are going to be reading Cool Roots by David Field. Let's get into it. Who gets to plan the cities of the future? You do. May all start with the roof over your head. Roofs over future cities will look and feel cooler. Green, plant covered, and cool. White or pastel. Roofs have long been popular in Europe, the Middle East, and Canada. Now roofs that look more like meadows than asphalted streets, plus those that paint a pretty pastel picture, are becoming part of the greening of America. Repeat. Please take a moment to make sure that you've got all those adjectives highlighted as well. Excellent work. All right, slide 17. Now on slide 17, we do a little something different. We start to think about the TDA, or the text dependent analysis prompt, and to see how we can understand the prompt, understand the text we have to address, and then think about it a little bit before we end up writing the essay. So on slide 18, drag the red dots over two key words from the prompt. So let's go ahead and drag these two red dots over here to prompt. Yes, indeed. And take a moment. Let's read this prompt again together and choose our two most important words now that we have a taste of this article. The author concludes the passage with a quotation from Joe Jenkins. The best choices will improve our lives and the cities we live in by respecting each other and the planet we so depend on. Write an essay analyzing how the information throughout the passage supports Jenkins' idea. Use evidence from the passage to support your response. Please take a moment to choose the two most important words in the prompt and to put the red dot on top of them. How does the author develop that idea? Now we've got our two purple dots. Please put them up here next to who. We're going to find two parts of this paragraph that help us to address the prompt on the left. Let's take a moment and reread this paragraph. Who gets to plan the cities of the future? You do. It may all start with a roof over your head. Roofs over future cities will look and feel cooler. Green, plant covered, and cool white or pastel roofs have long been popular in Europe, the Middle East, and Canada. Now roofs that look more like meadows than asphalted streets, plus those that paint a pretty pastel picture, are becoming part of the greening of America. So, what are we working with here? Find two parts of this paragraph that you think might help you to write an essay analyzing how the information throughout the passage supports Jenkins' idea in this quote. Take the time to do so now. Excellent. Well, they're talking about making choices to improve lives now and in the future for our planet. So part of me says the future seems like an important notion here. And what's important for the future? Getting these green roofs, getting these cool roofs. All right, the last one is for this orange dot. And I'd like you to find either in the graphic over here, which I'm circling with an orange dot now, or in the word cloud to the right here. I'd like you to find part that you also think might help you to answer this prompt. I'm going to go with the greenest cities in America. I'm going to go with the one that I think is closest to us. Not in Pennsylvania, unfortunately, but right here. Buffalo, New York. All right, so right around like there. All right. Please take the time to make your slide look a little something like Mr. Surface's. Nice work. Slide 19. Jackman School. That's a heading. Repeat after me. Heading.
Heading,
Heading.
heading,
What's it all about?
what's it all about?
All right, that's what a heading tells you. So this next paragraph is going to be all about Jackman School. Students, teachers, and parents at Jackman Avenue Public School in Toronto, Canada, had a problem: heat. They knew air conditioners weren't an eco-friendly solution because they waste energy and just heat up the neighborhood. So, looking to the future, they used ultraviolet, UV, film, and solar blinds for their windows, and added ceiling fans and shade trees. They also put a green wreath on the school. Slide 20. Heading. What's it all about? The heat island effect. Cities full of buildings with Jackman School's problem are in big trouble. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, says that due to the heat island effect, cities and suburbs are 2 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than nearby country areas. Tall buildings with flat roofs and narrow streets trap heat from cars, factories, and air conditioners. In cold northern locations, cities may stay a little warmer in the winter, but most of the year they need more energy to get cool. Cities have other problems too. They have increasing levels of pollution, which makes people sick, and rainwater from roofs washes through city streets without becoming part of our needed watershed. How can the 3.3 billion people now living in our cities survive in the future as temperatures climb higher? Bob Fitro of designandbuildwithmetal.com says green roofs, those with a plant covering, can certainly help. Where roofs are flat, plant covered systems have been shown to keep buildings cooler inside. And as an added benefit, they turn roofs into enjoyable park-like spaces, he says. Repeat after. So y'all, all of those things that are highlighted, adjectives. Please take a moment to make your slide 20 look like Mr. Surface's. Excellent work. Slide 21. Heading. What's it all about? Green roof pros and cons. On a summer day, the temperature of a roof can reach 140 to 190 degrees Fahrenheit. Think about it. An egg fries on a 158-degree pan. Covered with grass to absorb sunlight, the same roof wouldn't rise above 77 degrees. After a couple of years, plant roofs get so dense that they act like a warm coat, lowering heating costs in the winter, even when that coat is more brown than green. Balmori Associates. Brown, green, lowering, heating, dense. Excellent. We will pick it back up with Balmori Associates in a moment. Ooh-wee. So, Balmori Associates, an urban landscape design firm. Urban landscape design firm based in New York City built a 35,000 square foot green rooftop Silver Cup Studios in Queens, New York. The firm found a 30 to 50% reduction of energy use for climate control for the building in the summer and nearly 50 to 100% reduction in spring and fall. You can breathe deeply with a green roof too, because it cleans the air by catching particles of pollution and uses carbon dioxide to make more oxygen. It also absorbs traffic, machine, and airplane noises, so future cities with green roofs will be cooler, cleaner, and quieter. Stormwater. Take a moment, pretty please, and make sure that you have your adjectives, or in the one case with deeply, your adverbs highlighted, please. Nice work. Slide 23, Jordan slide. Is stored by a green roof, and its plants return water to the air. Extra water is cleaned and cooled by plants before it leaves the roof. Jackman's student research showed their green roof had about 75% less runoff water than before adding a green roof. Balmori Associates planned a green roof for an environmentally progressive residential tower in New York City called the Soleil, which stores rainwater not absorbed by its plants, along with the building's gray water, in a basement cistern where it filtered and reused to irrigate nearby parks as needed. Please take a moment to make your slide 23 look a little something like Mr. Surface's slide. Owners of the Fairmont Waterfront Hotel in Vancouver, Canada, save about $30,000 a year by using the herbs and vegetables growing on the building's roofs. Green roofs are also a healthy, safe places to relax and play in a crowded city. Some local plants and animals even find homes there. Repeat. Slide 25. After me. Heading. Making it green. And yellow, red, and brown. All right, good job. Let's take a quick computer. A rooftop is a tough place to live. There are high winds, extreme hot and cold temperatures, and usually very little water. For its green roof, the Jackman team chose local plants with brightly colored flowers and shallow roots. Bergamot, yarrow, asters, geraniums, daisies, coneflowers, and 4 kinds of sedum are included. Their green roof is actually shades of yellow, purple, red, and brown. The Silver Cup Studios green roof has 20 different sedum varieties growing in a pattern of green strips and blocks that bloom in yellows, reds, and pinks from spring to fall. Repeat after me. Before we get to that heading on slide 25, please make sure this adjectival or adjective dense slide looks like mine. So let's take a moment and revisit our TDA prompt. Slide 27. Please move those 2 red dots next to the prompt here on the left. Please move those 2 purple dots to the left of the heading for this paragraph at the top. And finally, please move this orange dot between the word cloud and the illustration. Take a moment now and move those 2 red dots to the 2 most important words in this prompt. Please do so now. Excellent. Now, please take a moment to find 2 parts of this paragraph or heading that help answer this prompt here to the left. Please do so now. Finally, please take a moment and move this orange dot to a part of the picture or a part of the word cloud that you feel helps you answer that prompt on the left. Please do so now. Nice work. Oh, here comes the heading. Heading. Another cool choice. Joy Lawrence of the Pennsylvania Horticultural Society says Philadelphia, like many cities, is actively improving many of its roofs. Since 2001, more than 550 roofs in the city have been white coated by the Energy Coordinating Agency. Why? On a hot summer day, do you wear dark clothing? No. You pick light-colored clothes and reflect sunlight and let heat escape your body. A white-coated cool roof uses the same tricks. Cool roofs cost less than planted ones and are easier to use on houses with slanted roofs. Many asphalt shingle roofs are being replaced with cool white ones that reflect both sunlight and heat. They reduce the heat island effect, but they don't have the same benefits of a green roof, since the same UV rays from the sun that give us a tan cause roofs to get old and fall apart. Both kinds are long-lasting. This means they're less likely to be dumped into a landfill. Some cool roofs have been around for a long time. Joe Jenkins, the founder of Slate Roofing Contractors Association of North America, says the best roof wouldn't need fossil fuels to be made. It will be found in nature, reusable, long-lasting, and non-toxic. Slate stone roofs take care of all those needs. Some cool roofs. Take a moment, please, and make slide 28 look like your slide 28. Are made of familiar materials. Bob Fitro says. Slide 29. Is the leading choice in green roofing for buildings with slanted roofs. Most are made of more than 25% recycled materials, are long-lasting, and can be melted down and reused when old. Cool pigments reflect rather than absorb the sun's rays. Still, other cool roofs are brand new. Rob Keane in Armor Light's news release says this advanced material uses little of the Earth's resources and is 100% recyclable. It reflects heat back into the air and insulates. Armor Light is strong, yet about 1/10 the weight of other roofs. It won't break, rot, or mildew. It can stand up against high winds, earthquakes, and fires. Headache. Slide 29, please make yours look the same. Slide 30. Tomorrow. Many groups have grand plans for future cities. One is a project by Balmori Associates called Shanghai Bund in China, where they propose to create a 20-meter green zone connecting the city to the river. With engineered islands to clean and filter water and generate energy, Shanghai Bund will be a zero-waste landscape. You'll see plenty of green roofs there. Like Joe Jenkins says, the best choice will improve our lives, and the city we live in will be by respecting each other and the planet we so depend upon. Good job, everybody. All right. So now that we're at slide 30, we got to break down just this last little part because it's so key to the TDA prompt. So slide 31, there's the directions again. Slide 32, everybody, please. We've got our 2 red dots next to the prompt, our TDA prompt. We've got our 2 purple dots up here by tomorrow. And finally, we've got our orange dot here between this picture of the Shanghai Bund and this word cloud over there. Please take the time to move your 2 red dots to the 2 most important words in the prompt right now. Excellent. Now, please take the time to move your 2 purple dots to the 2 most important parts and the 2 most relevant to the prompt parts in this passage up here. And then finally, where do you think this orange should go? Somewhere here on the picture or maybe somewhere in the word cloud, but the part that helps you to address that prompt, please do so now. So now we've got our word cloud again, right? And we've now read the entire article. It certainly was about cities and how they trap heat. But if we make green roofs or cool roofs, as they said, and put plants on top of the roofs, boom, our cities will be cooler during the summer, right? And a little warmer during the fall, right? We've got ways to collect more rainwater. We've got ways that we can provide good effects over time, right? So take a moment, please. And if you could please highlight 7 words in yellow that you feel might help us to understand this article as a whole. Slide 34. So let's go ahead and break down this prompt one last time and see if we can't find any corresponding ideas or words in our word cloud. All right. The author concludes the passage with a quotation from Joe Jenkins. The best choices will improve our lives and the cities we live in by respecting each other and the planet we live on or we so depend on. Write an essay analyzing how the information throughout the passage supports Jenkins' idea. Jenkins' idea about choosing to improve our cities and respect each other and our planet, right? Part of respecting the planet seems to me to be these green roofs that they keep repeating or these cool roofs that they repeat throughout it, right? The problem is we're overheating our planet and we need to find a way to cool it down. And our cities are these little islands of heat, and we've got to find a way to solve those. So you want to keep track of things like how we save water for the planet, how we keep track of effects over time from our heated cities, our plants, and winter, not using our heater too much, stuff like that, right? All the stuff that was mentioned in the article. So take a moment, and if you could please make your screen look a little something like Mr. Surface's. Excellent. So here on slide 35 is a sample answer that attempts to address that prompt. And what you're going to look at is a body paragraph. Okay. So let's take a look. The author concludes, let's keep our highlighter on. I'm going to shrink it down just a tiny bit though. The author concludes the passage with a quotation from Joe Jenkins: "The best choices will improve our lives in the city by respecting each other and the planet we so depend on." Write an essay analyzing how the information throughout the passage supports Jenkins' idea. Use evidence from the passage to support your response. So, right up here, there's our quotations, right? And the quotation is from who? Joe Jenkins. Circle his name, circle that quotation. The information, there's that word from the prompt, right? Notice how they connect. Throughout the passage about plant varieties supports Jenkins' idea. This Jenkins right here, the guy with the quote. The article opens by introducing the idea of cool roofs. Oh, I see a picture of a cool roof over here. I'm going to circle it in blue. The author proceeds to detail the different ways that heat is generated in cities. Oh, there's a city right there. By planting different types of plants on roofs. Well, here's different types of plants right here. Designers hope to sustain comfort in extreme temperatures. Quote, "The Silver Cup Studios green roof has 20 different sedum varieties." Notice, by the way, that it talks about plant varieties here as some of the information that helps us support it, and we've got it here as well. The Silver Cup Studios green roof has 20 different sedum varieties growing in a pattern of green strips and blocks that bloom in yellows, reds, and pinks from spring to fall. Switch to green, please. This sedum-based solution to overheated and polluted cities supports this noun verb Jenkins quote. "If there were no plants that could withstand the season's extreme temperatures, then it is unlikely that Jenkins would suggest sedum as the best choice." This important detail about plants supports Jenkins' idea about cool, green, and horticulturally diverse rooftop solutions. Please take a moment to make your screen look like Mr. Surface's. So, what were we asked to do? We are being asked to explain how the information in the passage supports that quote, right? So, first you have to figure out what the quote says. Whoopsie daisy. First, you have to figure out what the quote says. And then 3 pieces of info. The one piece of info that you looked at already was about plant variety, right? Looking at your notes and what you already did and thought about, you could probably come up with reason number 2, and then you'd have a whole paragraph for reason number 3, and then you would just restate your thesis. Please make your screen look a little something like Mr. Surface's. Excellent. With the remainder of the period, I'd like you to be on slide 38, and I'd like you to try to address this prompt in writing. Please put your answer off to the side here and go back into the text to get the support and evidence that you would need. You've done a great job. When you're done, give yourself a grade. How did your writing about it go? Where did you end up at the end of the day? Would you give yourself 100 for answering the prompt, right? Are you doing what the prompt tells you to do? Do you address all parts of it? Give yourself a 4, 3, 2, or 1. Do you got 5 paragraphs and there's a thesis at the top with 3 topic sentences? Do you have all that? 4. Do I have a topic sentence, context, quotations, this noun verb, if and thens, and the word important when I'm explaining my quotations? Do I follow a quotation with a this noun verb, if and then, and the word important, right? Do I analyze and tease out implicit meanings? Do you have a quotation in each of your 3 body paragraphs? Do you use a skillful use of transition to link different ideas? Do you know, will the reader know I read and understood the text? Did you get the article? Can you show you understood it? Do you have multi-sentence paragraphs? Can I read my essay out loud and it makes sense to myself and others? Always a great idea before turning in an essay. You are done. Congrats. Don't worry about slides 50 and 51. They're from a different time.